It is organized jointly by lots of stakeholders. Friedrich Naumann Foundation was kind of supporting this project. So I would like to thank our guest, Alexander Riepper. Sorry, he's the president of Friedrich Naumann Foundation in Tunisia. So hi, how are you?
Hi, thanks. I'm fine, thanks. Thanks to you for inviting me.
Thank you for being with us and accepting the invitation to tell us a little bit about TunisiaFactChecking.com. What is it?
Well, actually, it's a project that started in collaboration with a dear colleague of ours, a person that we did a lot of projects with Dr. Nouha Belaid. I think she will be joining the program too.
Yes.
And the partner organization called the E-Government Society. So since several years, we've been trying to support Tunisia to become better when it comes to e-government activities, and of course, especially during the pandemic, the question of fake news became really important for us, because our goal here in Tunisia as foundation is to strengthen the democracy. And actually, fake news is a big danger to democracy. So that's why we were ready to support the project that Nouha proposed to us.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and the training has been ongoing during. It started actually last August or June 2020.
Yes, we decided to do it within the pandemic. Of course, we had to do it as an online activity with some parts like sur place, like on the base. But yes, we started last year, and as a result of this training, we also developed the guide, like a fake news guide that university personnel or journalists can use for their daily business to check or to get some advice how to verify the information that they are dealing with.
Exactly. Can you give us an idea concerning the workshops that have been organized with the journalists in order to check on news and to check on their veracity?
Yeah, well, first, every society needs an exchange of information that is based on facts and truth. The problem today is that we are bombarded with the untruths about COVID-19, extremist and anti-science conspiracies that are all over the internet. And when we talk about truth, the problem is truth is not just there. It is not given by itself. It requires an activity. It must be explored and sustained in the process of testing. And the correctness of information can only be checked regularly with the help of the originator of the information, that is the journalists or researchers. And this requires people who actually determine the truth and check the facts presented for the truthfulness. And that's what we did in the training. It's like it needs some time to get acquainted with different systems of how to check the information. There are websites, there are actually books, there are researchers like Hannah Arendt, who had a concept about factful truth, and this requires some time. And during the training, we treated the variety of aspects to combat fake news.
Exactly. And what you focused on during that meeting, especially that recently there was a meeting that was organized, and you highlighted the importance of checking news, especially for Tunisia in the present circumstances, not only because of the pandemic, but also as related to the democratic transition. To what extent do you think, and what exactly is threatening this democratic transition with the fact of having proliferation of fake news, and more exactly what is in danger?
Well, first let me say that that the stuff that we are dealing with basically is the same that's going on in Germany right now. So basically there's no specific situation in Tunisia. It's a global problem. Fake news is a global problem. We have federal elections in September this year in Germany, and actually we have the problem of fake news that we are combating in Germany too. So for Tunisia, it's of course it's the same problem in general, but the context is different. Nowadays, when we look into the democratic process, we see that there's a lot of fake news going on that is, has a result to destabilize certain institutions of the country. We're talking about the parliament. We're talking about the different people involved in the government. I know that there are some problems overall, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help if people intend to spread fake news in order to make the democratic institutions weaker. There is a lot to criticize, that's right, but let's criticize it with the facts and the truth, and let's not criticize it with stuff that's made up. So in this context, and in the very difficult situation that Tunisia is in today with COVID, with the economic situation, with the political situation as well, we need, as citizens, we need to trust the information that is presented to us. And journalists and researchers play a major role in this because they are the ones that should be trusted with the information that they present. And that's why these trainings and this guide is so important.
Exactly. So if there is something that we have to highlight during this whole thing of fake news is that we need to bring back the confidence of citizens into journalists, because sometimes we feel that we have more confidence in Facebook than in journalists when they say other news. So we have to highlight the fact that deontology is the main point. Respect of the ethics of our journalists is also an important thing, and even then they don't have to rely on very simple news as they are given.
And we need to slow down from time to time. There might be an information on the internet that's very interesting. It's like some rumor about something, and we all, not only the journalists, but also we as citizens, we just should first calm down and ask ourselves, okay, is this information, can it be true? And maybe I should check it with another channel, and it's not like instantly copy and paste the information or share it on the social media. Calm down a bit, have a thought, think about it yourself. Is this plausible? And maybe who has some interest that this kind of news, if it is fake, might be spread around. So it's our responsibility as citizens to not be tempted by some interesting information that might be false, and someone has an interest that this false information is spread. So we, as each individual, each citizen, has a responsibility too.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Alexander Riepper, President of Friedrich Naumann Foundation. Thank you for this interesting interview. It's quite interesting projects too. For all those who want to know more about the work of the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, there is the Facebook page. Join in. There are lots of interesting work going on. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. We continue with Dr. Nouha Belaid, quite an amazing person, doctor in media and communication science, and expert accredited by many international organizations such as the United Nations and the European Union, Arab States Broadcasting Union also, and others. She has been director of studies at the Communication School, and she has taught electronic media and the management of social media platforms. She's also a journalist. She has great expertise in electronic editing, social media management, communication, good governance. Quite an amazing CV for Dr. Nouha Belaid, who is actually is our guest today. She's going to tell us more about the guide that she issued recently, that is helping journalists, but also I think it's going to help also civil society and individuals in trying to check on news in order to have more news about the origin and more data about the origin of news that we are having. So I hope that you are going to have Dr. Nouha Belaid with us, and she's going to tell us actually the guide that she published is actually a product, or let's say the outcome of the whole work, of the whole training that has been ongoing with the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, but also it is in collaboration with other organisms like here the CAPJC, etc. So trying to get in touch with Nouha in order to have more details about this guide and the planification of this guide. Actually, no, not yet. We are going to have a musical break now.
Don't play games with my heart. Ooh, now the feels hit me differently. When the hidden is deep, don't play. Don't play, yeah, yeah. Don't play games with my heart. Ooh, now the feels hit me differently.
It seems we reached no, Dr. Nouha. I've been announcing your interesting CV, Nouha. Quite an amazing thing that you have, quite an amazing expertise that you have. Hi, Nouha, how are you?
Hi, and thank you for this invitation. Thank you to RTCI too.
Thank you so much for being with us, because what you are going to tell us is quite interesting, not only for us journalists, as specialists, those who are specializing in giving and bringing in the data to the people, being a written press or electronic press, but also it's going to be important even for people, I mean normal people, like anybody who wants to reach the truth. So can you tell us about this guide for checking the data? It seems that it is the outcome of a whole work that has been behind.
Exactly. This guide or this manual is my second project with FNF, the Rich Neyman Foundation, because the first one was about data journalism, and the second one is like a second part, because we cannot use data without fact-checking. And as you know, actually fact-checking is not a new journalism practices, but today we talk about it's like involved in the process since a long time. But today we talk about some online platform specialized in fact-checking, and with the emergence of social media, I was listening to Alexander today. The majority of Tunisian or the majority of citizens in the world and people didn't trust in the media. So many Tunisians say that they only get the information from Facebook or Twitter. Facebook is the first used platform, electronic platform in Tunisia. And for them, social media are becoming the main source of information. And when social media became the first the main source of information, you know that citizen journalism is a five power, as we say, but you know that in the same time, journalists has to respect media deontology and ethics. So citizens are not obliged to do it. That's why today fact-checking is not only a journalism responsibility, but also it's a citizen responsibility at the same time, because all of us has to fight against the spread of fake news. And I chair, Alexander, the role of fact-checking today, namely during the period of COVID-19, because when there is a crisis, so we are living more and more fake news. So that's why the handbook. That's why this handbook or this manual is very important today to learn not only journalists but also citizens how to check information with some electronic or online tools use it for free.
Exactly, and what I'm going to ask you as an expert and a specialist in the field, for us for us people, I mean, sometimes we have photos, we have videos. How can we check on their veracity? I mean, sometimes we know that words can be taken out of their context, and we can understand that. But sometimes a photo, we say that a photo replaces 1,000 message. You don't need to write on a photo. A photo can express itself by itself. But how can we check on the veracity of a photo if it is posted in the context of a war or in context of a political crisis?
That's why I say that fact-checking is not a new journalism practices, but today we talk more about some online platforms specialized in fact-checking. So in the handbook, you can find in chapter 2 a list of some websites which can help citizens in general, not only journalists, which can help them in checking information, the veracity of a video or a text or a photo. And in the third chapter, that means the chapter 3, they can find a list of tools and use it for free. Not only to pay for them, you can use it for free. But we have to remember an important point that which has been mentioned in the page 32, that there are some rules to respect when we are doing what we are doing or exercising journalism. That's meaning there is some tools related to the news, related to checking the photo. That means, for example, let's say if we find a video posted on YouTube before using any online tools, because, for example, International Amnesty, the NGO, proposed tools which can use for free to check the video. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself some questions, like, for example, who is the person who has published or posted this video on YouTube. If this, for example, this account, is it a new one or it's an old one? That means maybe we could just create an account and then we have to just use it to post that only this video.
This is really, this is genuine, yes.
Exactly. And then, for example, we have to check the other video posted in this account. And at the same time, sometimes you can find a description. So we can find an information in the description which can help us to check the veracity of the video. So before using any online tool, we have to check information. For example, if you can for text, you can check if the other article published in this website are fake or true. You can check, for example, if the address, online address, is true. For example, sometimes people use it to republish an article for example, when you are on social media, on Facebook, you just saw the title of the article, and then you repost it, you publish it without reading the content of the article. So sometimes the article has been published since a long time, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. That's why the information is not true. So that's why before using any online tools, you have to ask yourself some questions about the veracity of the news or of the photo or the video. But I invite you to download for free the handbook. It's not a bit, but the list because the name of the title of the websites are in English or in French. So you can find in the chapter 2 and 3 the list of websites, and another one, a list for tools which can be used for free to check the information.
Exactly, but it seems that it's not the only website that is, it's not the only platform that we have in Tunisia about checking on data. What is special about this guide?
Exactly. So we have to clarify something, because when I announced the launching of this or the publishing of this manual, people think that I'm announcing a new platform. It's a platform related to book. In general, in American countries, when we publish a handbook, and because the evolution of technology, and in the same time today we are talking about a list of tools, but maybe tomorrow we can find another tool. So that's why we create a website and a Facebook page to evaluate in the same time, because this content is available for today. I'm not sure that next year it will be available. Maybe I'm not maybe, but I'm sure that we will discover some other tools. That's why we create a website and a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then if we talk about a project, let's say in the Arabic world, we have a lot of projects, and even in Tunisia, we have many interesting projects, such as Trust News Platform, which is a project supported by les grandes écoles de communication, and I think the American embassy in Tunisia. Then we have another project which has been launched last week, related to the Syndicat of Journalists. So this project is a new project, but we can talk about also the first platform in Tunisia related to fact-checking, which is in relation with the business news online newspaper, and they created the first. Businesses has created the first online platform in Tunisia. But there are many projects in Tunisia. Some of ones are well known, some others no. Some of them are supported by civil society, like for example Falso.cn. Falso.cn is a social civil society initiative created like 2-3 years ago. But some others ones are supported by Tunisian media.
Okay, Nouha, a last question, sorry, before ending today's interview. A very interesting question concerning building the confidence of Tunisians with the journalist. It seems that some of the let's say most of the Tunisians, they are not confident in journalists because we believe that they are respecting an editorial line, or they are working for the service of one person or another, for one party or another. What would you like to tell them?
You know that what is actually we are living with Facebook, and this last let's say this last month with Facebook, there is some restriction imposed by Facebook. In the past, we say that Facebook is like open space, open public, open online public space. And today we are asking the same question: is it really Facebook is an online public space with this restriction imposed by Facebook? And we have living a special period of time with what we have. It has been happened in Palestine. Today, media and in Tunisian media, for example, after the revolution, they opened their space to citizens to talk about, to express their opinion and to present their idea in a way of freedom. But at the same time, any media has an editorial line, so we have to respect the editorial line. But on the other hand, because it's the fourth power, but at the same time, on the other hand, if we talk about citizen journalism as the fifth power, so at this time we have to learn or to educate. This is what, like, if we talk about media literacy, we have to educate citizens how to respect others and how to respect ethics if we want really to spread the freedom of expression, or to protect at the same time the freedom of expression. So it's not easy. I know this is what Alexander says, that citizens today didn't trust in the media, but at the same time, and if we think to create a platform which combines at the same time citizens and journalists.
Great. This is the point. Once again, we highlight the importance for all journalists that if you want to keep your credibility, you have to be honest. You have to respect the ethics of journalism. You have to be there and present the information and check on the information that you are providing. What is your last message? We have just 30 seconds, Nouha. What is your last message for listeners today concerning checking on data, especially on social network? It's very important.
I repeat the same, that fact-checking is not a journalism responsibility, it's also a citizen responsibility. All of us, we have to check information before posting anything on social media.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Nouha Belaid, for being with us, for participating in today's English program. Thank you for the handbook. It's quite helpful and very interesting. As she said, it is available for free online if you want to get it. It's really amazing. I had a look. I'm having a look right now on the chapters, on the ideas. It's really helpful for all of us. So have a look at it. It's really interesting. Thank you, Dr. Nouha. And it's time for me to leave. Wish you all the best. Later on, it's going to be my colleague Adel Gazeh for the Italian language program. We resume French program with Noureddin Shewish. Wish you all the best. Don't worry. Be happy. Bye-bye.